Hello and welcome back together to this weekly update on the financial market. My name is still Jens, and like every video update, I want to go through with you my four main assets: the S&P 500 index, US oil, gold, and Bitcoin against US dollar. What will follow afterwards is a broad overview about my current single stock watch list, all my current trades and trades I want to take in the near future, my portfolio overview, etc. We will have a look at all these assets via price action on a weekly, daily, and sometimes even the 4-hour time frame. So let's start directly in with S&P 500 index on the weekly time frame. The S&P 500 index on the weekly time frame, you can see we are making higher highs followed by higher lows, so an intact uptrend currently near the all-time high territory, supported by the 10-week moving average. We've seen a 4-week dip before continuing again to the upper side. I think this is a sideways consolidation on a pretty high level, and that's normally bullish and speaks for continuation. On the daily time frame, you can see that the daily white solid uptrend line got broken to the downside slightly. This is not a good price action for drawing trend lines, so don't put too much weight on this broken trend line. What's more important is that we have a sideways consolidation on a higher level, and lately after this ABC correction, we've seen higher highs followed by higher lows. We've seen here the first lower low. If we would break that one to the downside, that would make me bearish, but like we can see with this trading setup here, I would get really defensive after seeing this low here breaking to the downside. From there on, I would say we will see falling prices, probably all the way back down to this weekly support zone here. That would be bear case. I think that's more unlikely. What's probably more likely is that we will see soon a break to a new all-time high level, taking out this local high and continuing higher. And yeah, like I told you in past videos, with this setup, haven't changed it so far since 3 weeks right now. I would take partial wins at point where it would make my risk as profit, sell 50%, take the trade afterwards, then risk free, and ride that higher, probably all the way up to the mid 7,000 range, etc. That's the target I have in mind for this S&P 500 index before we see the next future corrective move. If we switch to the 4-hour time frame, you can see it just in more detail. All moving average are supporting at the moment the uptrend. I'm pretty bullish right now for this index and the stocks inside of these. Let's continue with energy and US oil. US oil on the weekly time frame. Here you can see the red monthly downtrend line. That was the trend for a couple of years, but then we have seen a breakout out of this downtrend into a corrective move, a weekly corrective move. You could argue to see here an A, B, C correction with point C at the moment around $55 per barrel. We are below a major weekly support and now resistance zone, so the decline could or can continue. Real green signs first if we see a breakout above this weekly orange downtrend line, but short term there could be more bullish price action. More on that at the daily time frame. Here you can see a daily downtrend line. That one got broken to the upper side. We changed from lower lows and lower highs to higher highs and higher lows, and we had also a confirmation together with the MACD divergence. MACD was making higher lows while price was continuing to make lower lows. That divergence normally is a bullish sign, and we have seen here also some bullish price action above the 50 moving average on the daily time frame. The 200 moving average on the daily was still resistance. We bounced and now we take another try to getting above that one. I have set up this trading setup a couple of videos before, also 3 weeks I think. Yeah, we nearly reached the profit target. Maybe this happens this time. Then if I would have taken the trade by myself, I would then sell also, like with the S&P 500 index, 50% of the position, take the trade risk free and let it run and let's see how far price can go and trade the stop loss accordingly with price structure. In the 4 hour time frame, not so much more to say, only more details. But yeah, short term bullish, midterm neutral, and long term also bearish because the downtrend, or long term I'm bullish because we have seen a breakout out of this monthly downtrend. Midterm I'm still bearish because we are in this weekly downtrend, and short term broken daily downtrend line to the upper side. Short term I'm bullish for energy. Next, gold. Gold spot against the US dollar on the weekly time frame. Yeah, that's impressive, and it keeps getting more and more impressive. Yeah, we are reaching for the $5,000 mark per ounce in gold. That's amazing, since we left behind this major weekly or monthly resistance zone. We are printing higher highs followed by higher lows on the weekly time frame. 10-week moving average is pretty far separated right now from price, getting pretty stretched. Yeah, let's switch down to the daily time frame. Here you can see I was throwing in MACD divergence that would have spoken for bearish price action or a corrective move in this major uptrend. That hasn't happened, so we can delete that one out. But I also said that it's possible to get a long after seeing a break above this local high here, and the stop loss would have been placed below this pullback. If you have done that, then so far you should probably also could be able to take the trade risk free. Let's check that. Yeah, maybe not completely. A couple more dollars to go for the 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, depending where your entry was. But like every time, your decision, you're the manager of your own portfolio. I'm just telling you my opinion and what I do personal in the market. I have no active position in gold beside my investment, long-term investment, spot gold. And yeah, at the 4 hour time frame, you can see higher highs followed by higher lows. It's getting really stretched, so yeah, maybe we will see a couple more green candles coming week, but sooner or later we have to see a corrective move. That doesn't mean that the bull run is over, but breathing, taking a pause and collecting new buyers a little bit lower for continuing. That's at the moment my view on gold. I'm really bullish, but for active trading positions, I don't see a good entry right now, right here. Let's continue with Bitcoin. Bitcoin on a weekly time frame not looking so great. Stocks are making new all-time highs. Gold is making new all-time highs. Even oil comes out from the bottom and starts to live again. Only Bitcoin is turning to the downside. We have seen on the weekly higher highs followed by higher lows, so technically the overall uptrend is still intact, but it's not looking good. Relative weakness to other risk on markets. Unusual for Bitcoin, but it's usual for the cycle count. So history repeats again, and we have seen probably here the all-time high. We have seen a move below this weekly uptrend line and the 50 moving average. Now we're seeing here a flag pattern. If that one gets broken to the downside, I think we will see a continuation of this bearish price action, probably all the way back down to this monthly uptrend line, and maybe that would nicely aligned with the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, which is an important level for a turn in the market to still continue an overall uptrend. That would be less of a drawdown than in past cycles, but we also have seen less gains than in past cycles, so that could be a fitting scenario in my view. And here I would also get interested in taking another long positions. I already reduced my position trades in Bitcoin after seeing here the break of this weekly uptrend line, and I'm looking for getting a better price at a lower level and increasing my overall Bitcoin position with this position trading. On the daily time frame, you can see short term we have left behind this daily downtrend. We have been building a base, have seen higher highs and higher lows. Because of that, I also have set up here the fictive trade, so I was not taking that, but I have seen it as a possible trade. We have seen a nice green candle above a local high, entering long, stop loss below the last local low. Would have been failed and would have got stopped out here. It looks like it wants to roll over to the downside, this flag pattern. You can see it better at the 4-hour time frame. Here you have a 4-hour uptrend line that's broken, retest, and now seems like it gets broken again, and all moving average are above price and resistance right now, so not looking good. I'm not trading that. I'm not shorting Bitcoin right here. But yeah, I don't see a good trading opportunity to the long side here. So let's leave that one out and just have a close eye on Bitcoin. And like every week, I will give you my opinion about the price action in this asset. So if you haven't subscribed yet, that's the right moment to do it before we continue with the single stocks and my current trades. Reddit Inc. Yeah, blue flag because I got stopped out here. The trade is over. We have seen nice uptrend, pretty volatile though. We have seen a broken daily downtrend line, building out a base, still higher highs and higher lows, breaking out above the last local high. I entered long, risk reward ratio 1-to-1 for taking partial wins. We have been able to draw here a support zone. We also tested the support zone, haven't been able to make a higher high, reversed, broke down, and even price was falling below the swing low here, and I got stopped out for 1% of my account balance or 100 euros. And like you can see, even if we would have placed here the stop loss below the complete sideways consolidation, we still would have got stopped out in this trade. So far, I'm happy with my overall trading decision and idea here, even if it for sure can happen that this weekly uptrend here will hold. We will maybe test that one, turn, and continue then higher from there on. But and stop loss so deep would have ruined my risk reward ratio. And yeah, I will collect learnings. I will have an eye on this stock even if the trade is over, to see what could have been better with this trade and collect enough data to analyze my overall habits in trading and how to improve. Next on the list, JP Morgan Chase, also a stock where I got stopped out. JP Morgan Chase, yeah, was a bullish banking stock. Higher highs followed by higher lows, sideways consolidation, still making higher highs and higher lows. We have seen a break above the sideways consolidation. I was entering long, price immediately turned, broke down below this daily uptrend line and this daily support zone, and was taking out my swing low here in combination with the daily uptrend line, and I got stopped out also here for 100 euros or 1% of my account balance. And since then price is falling further, was also taking out the next swing low here. I don't know how far JP Morgan will fall, but I'm happy that I got out of this trade that early. That was the first sign that this one failed, and so far also here happy with my trading idea and decision to take the stop loss and reduce the risk. Okay, next JBL, that's an active stock I'm trading right now and the position is still open. JBL Inc. on the daily time frame, also uptrending volatile stock. We have seen a sideways consolidation at an all-time high level that was trending downwards. Then we have seen the first higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and so far we are still in a daily uptrend here, coming out of a nice base at an all-time high level. So bullish breakout strategy trade here. Stop loss is placed below the last major swing low after my entry. Well, that happened for my entry level. So far, slightly in profit. We have been way more in profit. Here, I also aim for 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio to take 50% of the position from the table, take the trade risk-free, and continue trailing up my stop loss. We will see if that trade continues like expected or reverses, break the daily uptrend line and stops me out. Next here, Amphenol Corporation. Amphenol Corporation on the daily time frame, also nice uptrending stock, nice intact daily uptrend, sideways consolidation at the all-time high level from a downtrend, an ABC correction, turning into an uptrend, printing higher highs and higher lows. We have seen a nice breakout above the sideways consolidation, so I was taking here also a breakout trade to the upper side. Here first pullback right now after the breakout. I hope that we're pulling back a little bit, but that this daily support zone, once resistance holds, we turn and continue in my favorite direction. Stop loss is placed below the last swing low inside the range. Then let's continue with Global X Uranium ETF. The Uranium ETF on the daily time frame, coming out of a sideways consolidation, breaking out, and since then we are in an uptrend, printing higher highs and higher lows. So far we are coming out of a corrective phase. The downtrend got broken. We changed from higher highs to higher lows, from lower lows to lower highs, into opposite. So from a downtrend to an uptrend. I entered along after seeing the last local high getting taken out. And so far a good decision. Stop loss below the complete corrective movement, aiming for risk reward ratio of 1-to-1. So taking 50% from the table once I make our risk as profit and taking with that the trade risk free. We are pretty near my first take profit target right now, because here is the sell limit order of half of the position. Would be the first one since the beginning of the year. Yeah, but everything can change in a few dollars of distance, so maybe we'll turn and see a huge pullback before taking that take profit. I made the plan in advance and I will not change it during the trade duration. At least that's the psychological thing I'm telling myself, to don't manipulate my own strategy here. Next, the farmer Novo Nordisk stock. Novo Nordisk had a nice run and then a not so nice decline. A lot of lower lows and lower highs. An weekly orange downtrend line that got broken to the upper side. And we have also taken out the last swing high here. So we are changing from lower lows to higher lows and higher highs. Also the 200 moving average on the daily got taken out to the upper side slightly, but it got taken out the first time since a pretty long time. And yeah, it would be pretty nice to see afterwards a movement like this again in the coming weeks, months, and maybe even years. The the moving averages are lining up so far, supporting price. We had here MACD divergence, a bullish one. So I'm happy with that position right now. Stop loss is placed below the complete movement. I would aim for 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio for taking partial wins, taking the trade risk-free, and then if price structure develops, I would like to trail my stop loss higher and higher and hopefully catch a huge part of the next uptrend. Next in the list, Elevance Health. Elevance Health was long time uptrending, and long time. If you look at the monthly uptrend line, we are still uptrending, but lately we have seen a huger corrective move that was pretty long lasting. Lower lows, lower highs, all supported the downtrend by the 200 moving average, so it was all the time resistance. Now we have broken this weekly downtrend to the upper side and also printing a higher high and higher low, all above the 200 moving average and the other major moving averages. At the moment, right now at the entry level, circling a little bit around that one. Stop loss is placed below the last swing low, and I'm aiming also here for a 1-to-1 risk ratio at the first target for taking partial wins and taking the trade risk-free, and then afterwards managing the trade accordingly to price action. Then we have here Intuitive Surgical, stock that I got stopped out at the beginning of my trading journey here, 2026. Intuitive Surgical Inc. on the daily time frame, nice uptrending medicine and robotic stock. We have seen a weekly uptrend line that's intact, an ABC correction on the daily time frame that got broken to the upper side, sideways consolidation at a daily support and resistance zone, and then a nice breakout to the upper side with a nice green engulfing candle. I entered long, stop loss was placed below the sideways consolidation. Price turned immediately and knocked me out of my position with losing 100 euros or 1% of my account balance. And so far we are trading a little bit below that range, and the 200 moving average seems to be support. I don't know how far we will correct further. Maybe we'll turn right here. That would be a little bit annoying because it's pretty close to my stop loss. But maybe we will also continue all the way back down to test another time this weekly orange uptrend line before then turning and continuing to the upper side. But so far still happy because it was a clean sideways range with a clean green candle breakout. So probably would take the trade the next time exactly the same way. And that's the important thing, to be happy with the execution and rule following, not with the pure result. Let's continue with Rolls-Royce Holdings. Rolls-Royce Holdings, European defense stock, also nice uptrend here. And yeah, we have seen on all-time high level an ABC correction with a daily downtrend line that got broken, pullback, and then breaking with nice green candles to the upper side above the prior all-time high. That was the moment to enter long for me. Stop loss was placed below point B of the below point A, below the ABC correction here, and also below this daily uptrend line. We have now the first pullback after the breakout trade here, and I hope that we will pulling back a little bit and then turning and running into my first sell limit order to get rid of 50% of the account balance and take with that trade risk free, and then trade accordingly the stop loss higher with price action. Another defense stock, HEICO. HEICO Corporation, this US based defense stock is looking great on the long-term view, nice uptrend, and we have also a sideways consolidation at the all-time high level supported by the 200 moving average, and we have also here a clean breakout to the upper side and first pullback afterwards, but it's looking a little bit weaker than Rolls-Royce at the moment. And we had here last Friday a massive red candle to the downside. Stop loss is placed below the last swing low before the breakout. The sell limit order was slightly missed here, and yeah, I hope that will turn in the next coming days without stopping me out here and running again into my first take profit target for taking the trade risk free. Yeah, the risk here is that we will maybe retest this daily uptrend and slightly take out my stop loss here. That would be maybe a mistake in placing the stop loss so close. Maybe a little bit more room would have been great, but like I told you before, I'm not sabotaging myself and changing stop loss levels afterwards. I have to make the plan in advance and then execute it, no matter with which mistake I am afterwards seeing in this stop loss placement or whatever. I can only learn all of that and then try to make it the next trade next time better. Let's continue with the German indice, the DAX ETF. The German DAX index ETF, nice uptrend here. We have also here a sideways consolidation at the all-time high level, supported by all major moving averages. We have seen the breakout. I was entering there, stop loss below the lower point of this range and below the 200 moving average. We pulled back and we snapped all the way up again into my entry level, and I hope that from there on we will continue higher. I'm aiming here for 1-to-1 risk reward ratio and then taking partial wins and the trade risk free. Last but not least, the last active traded stock here, Comfort Systems USA. Comfort Systems USA, nice daily uptrend line. We have seen here also a sideways consolidation, but still printing higher highs and higher lows after a nice pullback to the breakout zone of the sideways consolidation, and getting above that I entered a long stop loss below the last major swing low inside the range and the daily uptrend line, aiming also here for 1-to-1 risk reward ratio in the stock for them selling 50%, taking the trade risk free and throwing my stop loss higher. So far happy with the position here. Also first pullback after the breakout. So far everything is good. We have enough of wiggle room for the pullback before then hopefully the continuation comes afterwards. Yeah, now let's have a look at my portfolio dashboard to give you again a broad overview of my current situation. Here we are again at my portfolio log version 1.2. We have 10,000 euros base capital, 150% margin, a maximum risk I want to take of 10%. Current equity is at 9,700 euros. And the current performance is minus 300 euros or minus 3%. I was losing so far 3 trades. First one in Intuitive Surgical, JP Morgan and Reddit right now. And I have 9 open trades. JBL, Novo Nordisk, Elevance Health, Rolls-Royce Holdings, the DAX Index, Uranium ETF, Heiko Corporation, Defense, and FIX, and Amphenol. Yeah, like you can see, each of those is nearly 100% risk, 100% 100 euros and 1% risk. I reduced with the latest trades a little bit the risk per trade because my equity is going down, so I'm not willing to risk the same amount than earlier. I reduce risk with declining equity. At the moment I have a risk buffer of 73 euros and not enough to make a new position with 1% of the equity. So at the moment 9 trades and not 10 like usually. Reddit, JP Morgan and Intuitive Surgical both got stopped out in a loss, and because of that we got also the negative statistic right now, 3 negative trades 0 positive, 0 neutral. The average time for the trade was 10.7 days. And yeah, the analyzed return at the moment looks horrible, but that's due to only 3 finished trades and all negative. I hope that will change in the near future. And yeah, now you got a broader overview about my trades, my strategy, and my portfolio. I hope you enjoyed the video and got something useful for yourself and your own trading journey out of it. Let a nice comment down in the comment section if you like, and I hope you see my next video next weekend. Bye bye.